Hey everyone, Crash and Crash Customs, Lake Havasu, Arizona. I'm back on the 1954 Ford Victoria Crestline. Going to start why the whole car came in here in the first place. Rusty roof replacement. I have done a ton of rust repair on the outside and the floors. Lower rockers, front of the door, lower quarters, a little bit on the back tail here, and pretty much the same story on this side, right? And floors, lots of floor work. That's already done and coated, but check the other videos out and you can see what's happening there. Let me show you the roof. This was elsewhere and it was bubbly at another shop and they tore into it and then they walked away and I took over. You can see lots of bad repair work in the past. I don't even know how the skin is even attached. Tell like almost all the way around in the drip rails, both sides. It doesn't get any better no matter where you look. It was rusted out and repaired, brazed back in the day, pop rivet there, just bad repair work on top of bad repair work. You can see this is like Marglass, fiberglass compound, Bondo, several paint jobs on top of it, probably a cover up on top of a cover up on top of a cover up, and let's just send it down the road. We have another roof, right? Arizona roof out of Phoenix. We assumed this was rust free also, but got it blasted, and this will need some repairs also, but less repair than the roof that we have, okay? And to cut pillars and just replace it is going to be way faster than repairing the skin that's on there, the sides. I'm sure there is more bad stuff underneath the paint that's here. I can already tell, like it won't show up on camera, but right along here the orange peel is completely different. It's way more bubbled. It's almost like there's rust out even further up that they mudded and now that's popping, but whatever. This is the way we're doing it. Fix a few spots on here, cut the roof and replace it. Starting to break this loose from the drip rail. Current plan, this contour, right, is the same if you just rotate it up a little bit, right where the notch is. That's what I need right here, this section here. So I'm gonna clean this paint off and hope the metal underneath is good. Cut this out, measure over there, right, roll a flange on part of this bottom to fit back in the drip rail. See how it goes. Mysteries revealed on why these roofs rust out. Check that. Ford put some kind of goo in there. I don't know if it was like bonding or anti-vibration, whatever their thinking was, between the skin and the inner structure. Well, that's where it all rusted out. And consistency, that's why our new roof also is rusted out along the drip rail, right? So this is what I just cut off. You can see it's cratered, right? Here is the piece I cut off of the current roof that's on the car, like I said I was going to. Like basically this area I cut off, right? Up here. I trimmed off the bad rusty stuff, tipping die to get that flange that goes into the drip rail. And it is like, I got a little more cleanup to do on here to fit this properly, but you can see that contour, right? It's working out great. It's really, we could use a couple wins. The piece that I cut off the bottom here, you can see she thin, cratered, right? No good. But the upper section, totally solid. Final fitment and cleanup. Start welding and grinding that in. This cutting a section out higher than the replacement panel, cutting off the bad and breaking a new 90 for the drip rail scenario. It's working out really good. This piece is, that's how I did this piece. That's fully welded in, ground down. This one is fitted. Same principle, you know, over there on the bad roof, cut higher, cut off the rust, bead roll with the tipping die, the flange to go in the drip rail. It's it's working out really good. Things might change though when I get around this area, just because there's a lot more contour going on. But I want to hit it. I want to hit that the same way I hit that, and we'll find out. So as you can see, I've been cutting pieces out of here. I have not been busting it loose in the drip rail because there's spot welds in there, and what's the point? So I just cut a little bit higher, put this through the bead roller, tipping die, to get the drip rail flange, right? On these pieces, perfect. Well, this piece has a lot more contour. It's got contour this way, this way, this way, right? So when I put this in the tipping die to get the drip rail flange, you can see it's curved, and it's curved the wrong way. That happened when I put it through the tipping die. So I can just run this into the stretcher and reverse that contour. So I end up with the correct contour for along here on the new roof. Driver's side of the roof, fully welded in, ground down smooth. I do have some light hammer and dolly work to do. And if you're questioning why I went so high. I didn't need to go this high with the cut and weld. It was only maybe the lower inch, if that, was bad, that needed to be replaced. But in order for me to hammer and dolly, there's an inner brace here. So if I would have cut real low and welded, I would not have been able to access it from the backside to smooth out any imperfections from the welding and grinding. Let me show you on this one that has the holes in it. It really only rusted out in this low area, right? But you cannot get anything in there to tune it up after you weld and grind. So I went higher so I could put this body dolly in there. Look at that. Is that not like the perfect contour of where I cut and welded on the other roof over there, right? So I can slide this in, hammer from the top side, smooth it all out. Now I got to do the passenger side. You can see this side might actually be worse than the driver's side, which they all rust out the same, I guess. You see how bad this side is. The passenger side is also the bad side that has been repaired poorly here. So this should be interesting when this comes apart to see if they put like more of that goo on this side, or who knows, maybe the mice just prefer to build nests in the passenger side of the roof of these cars. I don't know. We'll cut it open, find out though. You saw me break this edge in the bead roller with a tipping die. That only gets you so far. It doesn't give you like a full 90 at all. So I finished it up with the hammer and dolly on the vise. Now, like the other one I showed you, the tipping die put way too much curve into this, right? So I will use the shrinker to straighten this. Straighten it out more so it matches up with the contour of the drip rail, right? Let's do it. She's ready now. Lines right up. Check that, nice and consistent. Right? Now, I purposely bent this with more space between this edge and the bend so I could grip this with the shrinker stretcher teeth. So now I have to trim this edge down in order to fit into the drip rail channel. And fit, cut. Broke that piece free. Was not much work at all between all the rust in the drip rail, that edge, right? And when they stamp this whole skin, they stamp it with that flange, and that 90 where they stamp it is it's a weak point, really. So rock it back and forth and it broke loose. Now clean up the drip rail of the leftover skin, right? You can see right here, but it's spot welded randomly, so I got to bust those loose. I am choosing to spot weld this new piece in from below. So like this area right here where there's a rust hole, I'm going to drill that, and that is going to be my spot weld hole. So I should not have to repair the actual drip rail that is part of the inner structure, right? Clean this up like the other side, wire brush this down, rust treat it, and fit the new panel. All cleaned up now, and disappointing in spots for sure. Check this right here. That's all the way through, and that's the jam. There's nothing. It's not like inner structure where you could you could just, you know, do the wrong thing and ignore it. This has to be addressed. It's you see it from the underside, right? See that? So yeah. All right, let's fix it. Got this piece really close to being fit. I have to trim the top side. Sides are trimmed, drip rail totally cleaned out and fitted proper. And let me show you that little inner structure piece that was rusted through. That is also repaired. I just put a whole new piece along the whole inside. It was rusted through, rusted. It was garbage. Spotted in several spots, just ground down real quick. No one sees it. I only ground it down to make sure this piece doesn't hit any of the spot welds. Super close to putting that in. Inner structure is rust treated. Fitment is on the money for putting this piece in, and spot weld holes on the bottom drilled, ready to go. Tape lines make great edges to follow and easy to do quick measurements and spacing. You know, 1/2 inch tape, 3/4 inch tape if you're lining things up, and especially if it's curve. Sometimes it's hard to get a straight edge on there and mark it with a scribe or Sharpie. Tape works super easy, super fast. Let's weld it in. Got the roof propped up precariously, nothing to worry about, and spot welded in the bottom of the drip rails, ground those down smooth, both sides, and I got to do some rust converter on here. and then put some bracing in there. Super close to cutting this off. Measurements have been made. Roof has been marked. Template for the windshield. Flippable from side to side. This is so I can mark the other roof, right, on where I can cut it here. I'm going to max out that post to this rusty post. As low as that post is where I will cut here, and then on the inside jamb, that's easy. Straight up here, down, I can measure that. I have height measurements marked with the tape where I measured, right? 13/3/8 here, both sides. And these points are the same on the other roof. This is where I'm going to cut. I took a straight edge flexible ruler to this edge and drew this straight line and then measured down to this point. I don't want to mess with drip rails, and I will cut up through here. This is just one layer each side. Originally, I was going to dissect this, but it's layered on top of layer on top of layer. And the new roof, somebody already back in the day, there must have been an accident where the quarter was punched in real hard. This was already replaced and, you know, gas welded. So what difference does it make now if I cut higher, get rid of their lousy weld it, grind it, make it look like it never happened? That's the plan with that part. I also have measurements from the center of the rear window, right? I can just take a straight edge ruler, boom, measure that, make sure that's consistent when the new roof goes on. Same scenario on this side. Points of reference, same from top to top. And brace the inside. Still got to brace the inside. I'll do that tomorrow morning. I have the A-pillars prepped, ready to go on the car, right? For those that don't know, there's an inner structure to these A-pillars, right? So I peeled back the skin. Actually, I think it goes this way. Yeah, it goes like that, right? So I peeled this back so I can actually weld this. And then once the inner structure is welded, these caps will go back on. Gotta make it strong as possible. You don't want to just do the perimeter. You don't want to cut this and just do the perimeter sheet metal. That's not correct at all. Weld the inner structure, right? And I got the inside braced and strapped to the post, to the 2-post hoist, so I can put a little upward pressure when I'm cutting so it doesn't like snag the blades and get those caught, and then cut it, lift it, swap it. Super easy, right? She's loose now. All 4 posts cut free. You can see at a better angle the inner structure. I cut higher than what I needed because I will whittle this away basically. I'll probably cut about this much of the outer skin, keep the inner skin probably 3/4 of an inch higher than what it needs to be, and then I can grind and fit this down properly to match the window opening. Better to cut a little at a time than too much at once. I have started welding the B-pillars on the outside, a little bit on the inside. I'll do final welding on the inside once I cut that out. But before I cut that out, the A-pillars are just clamped, and everything is lining up super good, which, you know, you're always worried about like a roof, like from the junkyard or salvage yard, depending on what kind of place you're buying it from. Like, did they pick the car up with a forklift here and stretch and tweak things? But it I didn't have to muscle anything around. Dropped it down, fine-tuned the alignment on the B pillars just a little bit. That was super easy. B pillars. The A pillars, up and down, fit, up and down several times, but that was by design because I left the inner structure longer on the car and longer on the roof because I really wanted to fine tune that fitment, you know what I mean? So it's amazingly going very well. Like I said, with the new top is not bowed or tweaked at all, so everything lined up real good. My reference points measured out perfectly, here to here, there to there, and then center one in the center of the rear window. And the template I made for the windshield worked awesome. Just 1/4 inch thick pressed board so it don't flex. All 4 posts welded in, not finished. I'm running out of time. I have to edit this video and get it out, but all 4 posts are welded in enough that I cut the inner bracing out. I have to do outer rust repair and put the outer skin on the A pillars, but the inner structure is welded up, ready to go. This has got just a little bit of rust back there, but that'll probably blow out to be way bigger. And the B pillars on the outside, both sides, are welded up, ground down. The jamb where the window goes, that is also finished. Crawl inside and finish that, and super close to rolling this out of here. Calling the customer and saying she's done. I'm not sure if I'm going to do another video on just this little bit of rust repair. I'm also going to use a shrinking disc on some of the high spots here and do some final hammer and dolly work before it leaves. If you guys think you want to see that, drop it down in the comments and I'll do another final video of the 54 project here. But super happy with how the roof is coming out. Easier than I had thought. And that's based on getting a roof that was good, not stretched from being bounced around in a salvage yard or a hard hit, like from the rear, could screw up the alignment of the roof. It just dropped right down. Lots of measuring, lots of double, triple checking, and here we are. I'm stoked. I'm real I'm real happy to be at this point. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll keep giving you weekly content on everything that's going on in the shop, customer stuff, my stuff, car show stuff, the next stuff that goes on this hoist, one of my rides. See ya.